Hi, this is Louis Lipstone, and I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee. I can't believe it. I waited so long to do this trip, almost 10 years of planning and preparing and then forgetting and then doing it again. And finally I'm going to do it. Of course, last night it thunders and lightnings. It's humid out, it's raining out, it's disgusting out. And on top of that, you have to get up at 5 in the morning just to go on this trip. Are these people insane?
Yes.
Thank you, Dennis.
Okay, folks, so there's not much out there that would get Louis out of bed at 5 a.m. except a jet ski trip. And today is the first day of the Tennessee River 600, and absolutely everyone is really excited.
So you're looking forward to this?
It's awesome. It's excellent every time.
Cool.
Good people, they take care of you. It's really a lot to chew off a trip like this by yourself. So you got this crew to take care of you, and it's a good cause. And there's no better way to do this. And it's a beautiful ride too. Beautiful. And it's an adventure. It's an adventure of a lifetime. We do it every year.
Everyone is gathered at Volunteer Landing Marina to meet the rest of the Tennessee River 600 riders, launch their skis, top off their fuel, and check the gear one last time.
So Luann, how long have you been doing this ride?
13 years.
Wow.
13 years. Every one of them awesome. Fantastic.
The 88 or so jet skiers are joined by boating officer Richard Regal, Dennis Beckley, and a slew of others who will operate the support boats and act as a lifeline in case the riders run into trouble. A big thank you goes out to these folks, without whom this ride would be impossible.
We're out here in the middle of the river. I am ready to rock. I'm ready to take this town down. Today we're going to be traveling 200 miles, and we're going to be going down the Tennessee River at approximately 40 to 50 miles an hour. I'm looking forward to this trip. We're going to make a stop in about 22 miles for breakfast, and then we're going to head out for the additional approximately 160 miles today. We'll get into Chattanooga, or whatever they call it, at 4 o'clock today. Hopefully we'll be in the locks at the right time, right place.
So with perfect weather and the sun at their backs, the group makes their way out of the marina and off towards Louisville Landing, which is their breakfast break. As Louis said, it's a small leg of about 22 miles, but it lets everyone get the kinks out and shake down their machines. The group is very rider conscious, and they pause several times during the day for slower riders to catch up. These water rendezvous allow for some great photo ops, and better yet, to meet new folks who share a passion of the water. The group pulls into Louisville Landing Marina for breakfast, which is the perfect opportunity to make new friends on the trip. After breakfast, the group heads out towards Fort Loudoun Dam. It's another 23 miles, and the group is anxious to see and ride through the first lock of their journey. While the group waits to assemble just outside the lock, Luann decides to spice things up a little bit, much to the enjoyment of the onlookers.
Yeah, baby, take it all off.
Well, this is definitely a fun-loving crowd, but now it's their turn to run through the locks. herd themselves in, the giant doors close behind them, and they let the water do the rest while enjoying each other's company. And if you've never been through a lock before, this is a very cool first-time experience. Now it's out of the locks at Watts Bar Lake, and the river makes beautiful sweeping turns, and the clouds are amazing. What the group is about to realize is that crazy clouds can mean even crazier weather. Yep, if you look closely, that's rain and hail. But that doesn't feel very good at 40 miles an hour, now does it? The riders don another layer of protective gear, and they're back on their way again quickly. They're heading 170 miles today, so they refuel regularly. There's another lock experience at Watts Bar Dam on Chickamauga Lake near the nuclear power plant. Their lunch stop is at Shady Grove Harbor and is 160 miles into the journey. After lunch, they make their way towards the end of the first day. They put in at Chickamauga Marina, just outside Chattanooga, 176.5 miles from their starting point in Knoxville. The group had a chance to spend day 2 touring Chattanooga, where a few of them got a chance to buy their first moon pie, including Lewis, who was overheard saying that his life has changed for good. The group also had a chance to see the Tennessee Aquarium and Butterfly Gardens. You come to Chattanooga, Tennessee without seeing the world-famous Chattanooga Choo-Choo. And so begins day 3 of the Tennessee River 600, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. The group is launching this morning from Chickamauga Marina. They'll have a chance to top off fuel and supplies, and the first landmark they'll hit today is Chickamauga Dam and Lock, about a half mile from the marina where they harbored last night. Let's check in with the group and see how they're doing.
So today we're in the Chickamauga Lock, and today's traveling is going to be approximately 113 miles. It should be a good ride today compared to the other 178-mile ride on Sunday. Most people couldn't walk, but I was okay.
In 1933, the Tennessee Valley Authority began construction of the 9 dams and locks that make the 654 miles of navigable waterways possible. Without these step-ups or step-downs, the 513-foot drop in elevation of the Tennessee on its way to the Ohio River would make commercial shipping impossible, and the now smooth, calm waters are ideal for sport boating. Once you're out of the locks here at Chickamauga, the views are great. You have a chance to see the Chattanooga River Walk, the Walnut Street Bridge, which is the world's longest pedestrian bridge, and the Tennessee Aquarium, where the group visited yesterday. Also, right across the river is the Delta Queen. As soon as they clear the no-wake zone, the group will be on their way at top speed to their next destination. It's 40 miles till they reach Hale's Bar and Marina, which will serve as their lunch stop and fuel top-off. As the group approaches Hales Bar Marina, they realize it's quite an amazing place. The old Hales Bar Dam powerhouse you see here is on the U.S. National Register of Historic Places. The original hydroelectric dam was built in 1913 and produced 100,000 kilowatts of power. It was later replaced by the Nickajack Dam and today serves as the Tennessee River 600's lunch and refueling stop. Leaving Hales Bar, the group now heads off south towards Nickajack Dam, only a few miles away. As we pass the bridges of the Dixie Highway and Highway 24, you realize that seeing this country by waterways is a pleasure and a privilege, and is always inspiring to see the ingenuity of generations who've come before us. Out of the locks at Nickajack, and the skiers are flying on their way past Burns Island toward Shelby Reinhardt Bridge. They're 50 miles into the day with 65 to go. The destination is the Best Western at Guntersville Lake for a day's total of 115 miles. Day 4 begins with a short run from the Best Western to the Guntersville Dam. On the way, the group will pass the Hambrick Hollow Bat Caves, which are home to some 60,000 gray bats, which are now on the endangered species list. These little guys are responsible for eating up to a ton of mosquitoes each night. Go bats! Out of the lock at Guntersville, and it's 70 miles till the group harbors for the night at Joe Wheeler State Park. Just past the Beeline Highway bridges, there's a lunch and fuel stop at Brickyard Landing. After lunch, with the tanks topped off, it's a 25-mile full-throttle sprint to the end of the day. Reaching Joe Wheeler State Park means the day's journey is over and relaxing begins. The day totals 85 miles, and the ride total now stands at 377 miles. As the sun rises on day 5, the group is preparing to pass through Joe Wheeler Dam. A typical lock takes around 15 minutes from the start of water drop to doors open, but the magic of editing gets it done in 20 seconds. Here we go! Today's route takes the riders through 2 sets of locks in their first 15 miles. For this reason, and the delays they might encounter at the locks, the group has planned a shorter day. Heading into Wilson Dam, the group only needs one stop for lunch and gas. Then it's only 45 miles to the end of the day, passing the Colbert Steam Plant and Natchez Trace Parkway Bridge, on their way to Pickwick Landing State Park. Day 6 at Pickwick Landing is a planned leisure day. Some members of the group will relax and visit the little town of Savannah, Tennessee. Others will compete in the speed and buoy competition, and all members of the group will later meet at Jerry and Susan Edwards for cocktails, dinner, and an awards ceremony for the day's winners. What a view they have, and what a great way to end a relaxing day. Day 7 marks the last day of the Tennessee River 600. From the starting point at Pickwick Landing, the group makes its way through the Pickwick Dam Lock. Today's journey will take the group 148 miles to their endpoint at Paris Landing. It's a bittersweet feeling today, wanting to get home, but sad to leave your new friends and the river behind. Out of the lock at Pickwick, there's smooth sailing and a high-speed 50-mile leg that takes the group under Highway 114 to the Clifton Marina for gas and lunch. They hit the water again for another 40 miles till they refuel at Cuba Landing, just past the Highway 40 bridge. One more push home that takes them past the Benton-Houston Ferry and this apocalyptic site. The old Danville Railroad Granary now stands partially submerged after the Kentucky Lake was created in the 1930s. One by one, the group reaches the end of the line. They've traveled 148 miles today and now have a grand total for the trip of 582 miles. The Tennessee River 600 marks its 15th year of giving in 2011. In support of the Children's Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama, as well as the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, the Tennessee River 600 has raised over $180,000. Without the support of generous donors like yourselves, these contributions to the worthy causes would be impossible. We hope you've enjoyed watching the trip, and we'll pause a moment and consider making a donation next year. Or even better, join us on this adventure of a lifetime. For more information, please go to www.tennesseeriver600.com. We'll see you next year.